So GJ's bullish move that I anticipated worked out really well. Right. So the whole reason I wanted to buy yesterday was because you look to the left and you see all this rejection, right? All this rejection that we had before, and we were in this place. And honestly, it was this right here, this break of resistance after London Open that made me think that we're going to continue bullish, right? It was that, and what really did it for me, like I said in the previous video, was the fact that we had this bullish, bearish, and then above it, bullish, bullish. So when price was back here, I was assuming that it was just making a higher low to pass this previous high that was made, and then that ended up being the case. I took 2 entries, so I scaled in while my other trade was in drawdown. But in my head, I was adding to a winning position. So you have this break of resistance. Price is coming back here. So the only thing I was looking for was another break of resistance because I was assuming that this was going to be a higher low. Again, I was very aware of where I was when it came to price. So I was like, you know, as long as it doesn't pass below this level right here and start closing, it doesn't break this support, then I'm pretty sure price is going to continue bullish. So actually, I think I was on the 1 minute and I was just waiting for resistance to break. Right, so we had lower lows, lower highs, you know, a double bottom, and then we had a break of this resistance. I must have not been looking at the 1 minute. I was probably looking on the 5 minute, but this is an entry. This is my first entry. This is my second entry. When price was coming back up, I was like, okay, I think we're going to continue bullish now. But my stop was here because it was based off of, well, this wick right here. Can you see it? See this? I'm going to activate as support here. I'm going to activate as support here. Activate as resistance here. So that's why I put my take profit, because I did make my psychology chart yesterday and I wrote greed, fear, and impatience. So one of the things that can be categorized as greed is putting my take profit past a daily or 4-hour zone. You know, if I know that there's a potential that price could reverse from it, might as well just take the trade, take your profits, and then re-enter once you know you get your confirmations for a higher low to form or whatever need be. So yeah, that trade was a nice trade. It looks something like this. The risk to reward was nice on it, right? So one trade was take profit was here, and the other one was here. It's very different. So that's that on that. It was a nice trade. For gold now, I don't know if I'm gonna be trading it just because we do have news at 2. Put that. And I put on my psychology chart one of the so you have fear and impatience. For my examples for both of them, I put trading before news is an example of fear, like probably fear of missing out, and impatience. Like, bro, you know that crazy volatility happens like when news occurs, so you don't really know what prices are gonna do, because it could, you know, whiplash. It does it all the time, and I have to keep writing in my journal. You know, check the news daily, and if you see news is coming, just wait until, you know, wait the next day until you trade that pair. So this is gonna be significant for me. You know, just trade. So we're not gonna trade any US pairs until that occurs. And I think it's interesting how usually the liquidity grabs would happen during New York, you know? Like, listen to this. I think this might be something that will happen during FOMC. You see, you have the nice liquidity grab from the daily level, but it's during Asian session on a Sunday. you have the nice liquidity graph from that same level, but it's on Asian session. That's not normal. So there's a possibility that price could, I don't know. Yeet! That's just a possibility because I don't know, or even here. But either way, I would prefer to take trades tomorrow or at least afternoons, you know, because I do believe that this level is going to be filled in. I just don't know how it's going to be filled in. But in order to keep trading high probability setups, I'm going to let this day pass. And we're going to just continue to be great on our own somewhere else. Also, there's a high probability, I never even thought about this, that price could actually continue bearish from this level. Wow. Now we had a break and then it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Because at the end of the day, the bearish structure is the bearish flow is still technically bullish. This is a possibility. However, oh my gosh. Oh no, straight up. This is a possibility. And according to, let's see, if I were to take that trade, my percentage would be, let's see, so it's, yeah, 1 point for being in a time of liquidity, another point for being in a daily exhaustion zone. Let's see if you see this on the weekly. Let's see, gonna come up here. Yeah, technically, or this way. It did tap into it, but I won't give it that point. Actually, what I'm not gonna give it that point. So you have 1 point, 2 points. The max would be 3 points. The most risk I could take on this trade is a 1%, because the 4 hour is not even with it. The daily, however, is, you know. So I'm just gonna let this trade slide. You know, we might have a retracement from this area for real, but you know, you can have that. Not really, because the lower time frames in the favor. You on a daily resistance. You gotta, you know, it's good timing. There's volatility in the market, so it really might go bearish from here. But I won't be able to risk 1%. You know, I might try it because you know this new risk system. Let's see what it do. Happy trading.